the 19th of January 2019, Robert Baloucoune of Ulster on his way to scoring his side's second try during the Heineken Champions Cup Pool 4 Round 6 match between Leicester Tigers and Ulster at Welford Road in Leicester, England. Photo by Ramsey Cardy. Sportsfile Ulster came into this afternoon's meeting with Leicester Tigers needing a losing bonus point to ensure their place in the Heineken Champions Cup quarter-finals for the first time since 2014, and for 50 minutes it looked utterly beyond them. Then they brought on John Cooney. When the Dubliner was introduced 10 minutes into the second half, his team was 13-0 down and struggling badly. He didn't do anything flashy, but his presence appeared to calm his teammates, who stepped up. Half an hour later they had done enough to set up a possible Aviva Stadium date with Leinster, presuming the champions do their bit against Wasps at the Ricoh Arena tomorrow. If they are to progress any further than the Heineken Champions Cup quarter-finals, they will need massive improvements across the park, but their resolve to storm back and claim a memorable victory was impressive. For 40 minutes, their performance fell well below the standards they had previously set in this competition, as they failed to establish any attacking platform whatsoever. Rory Best's line-out throwing was poor, their scrum was creaky and their work under the high ball was shaky. On their rare forays into opposition territory, their passing was loose and their ball protection at the breakdown poor. Perhaps it was fatigue after last week's effort in beating Racing, but so many Ulster stars failed to fire. Yet, once Cooney came into the fray, he exuded calm, and his teammates responded by stepping up their game with tries from Marty Moore and Robert Baloucoune, both converted by Cooney, just doing enough. Once the celebrations have died down, they'll look long and hard at how they managed to get themselves in such a hole. After a scrappy opening, they were forced into some early defensive work as the Tigers probed for an opening. Marcel Coetzee delivered a thundering tackle on Jonah Holmes, before Best's cricket throw offered Ben Youngs a chance to snipe down the left, stepping Baloucoune before the covering Dave Shanahan forced him into touch. Lewis Ludick had to be alert to bring Dan Cole down after the tight head prop left Jordy Murphy wrong-footed, but again Leicester let their visitors off the hook when Ford knocked Young's pass on. After 25 minutes of operating with no attacking platform, Ulster finally got into the game when Brendan O'Connor went high on Will Edison in the centre, kicked the ball to the edge of the 22. But yet again Best's throw went astray, and instead they were forced into more defending before Moore went off his feet at the ruck and handed Ford a chance to open the scoring after 32 minutes. The lead was no more than the Tigers deserved, and after another visit to opposition territory came and went with no reward, the Irish province lost key man Coetzee to injury. As a poor-quality half lurched towards a conclusion, the Leicester scrum forced a penalty that had been coming all afternoon. And from there the home side extended their lead on the stroke of half-time, with Matt Tumua brilliantly pounced on Ford's neat chip through to score the game's first try. The out-half converted to make it 10-0 at the break, while Billy Burns slapped the ball out of Young's hands early in the second half to give Ford the chance to extend the lead. With Andy Warwick on at loose head, the Ulster scrum earned a penalty and Best went to the corner, only for the defending Tigers to somehow turn them all over. Ulster kept pressing, a neat Burns cross-kick to Nick Tamiwani saw him feed Sean Reedy, but the flanker knocked on in Ford's tackle. Suddenly, with Cooney now running the show from scrum half after replacing Dave Shanahan, the visiting side were transformed. They took Leicester through 13 defensive phases before forcing a penalty, kick to touch, and then turned to their maul. This time they got the nudge and Marty Moore peeled off the tail to score his first Ulster try. Cooney converted brilliantly to put his side within bonus point range, and he was stepping up again minutes later as Robert Baloucoune latched onto Burns' deft chip to make it 13-12 before the scrum half's conversion put his side in front. Winger Baloucoune had to be alert to deny Greg Bateman after the prop broke the Ulster line as the visitors began a long defensive stand. Jordy Murphy and Best combined for a key turnover as the pressure mounted under their own posts while Facunda Gigina threw a crooked line out as Leicester went for one last push. It never came. Ulster got their win and now wait to see who they will face in their first Champions Cup quarter-final since 2014. Scorers: Leicester, M. Tumu try, G. Ford 2 pence, 1 con, Ulster, M. Moore, R. Baloucoune try each, J. Cooney 2 cons, Leicester Tigers, J. Holmes, J. May, M. Tuilaji, M. Tumua, J. Olofella, G. Ford, Capt. B. Youngs, G. Bateman, F. Gigina 67, J. Carr, R. McMillan 67, D. Cole, J. Hayes 67, M. Fitzgerald, G. Kitchener, H. Wells 60, M. Williams, B. O'Connor, W. Evans H. T. S. Calamafoni. Ulster, L. Ludick, R. Baloucoune, W. Addison, S. McCloskey, J. Stockdale, B. Burns, D. Shanahan, J. Cooney 50, E. O'Sullivan, Warwick 50, R. Best, Capt. M. Moore, R. Kane 77, I. Henderson, K. Treadwell, O'Connor 65, S. Reedy, R. Herring 65, J. Murphy, M. Coetzee, N. Timony 36. Ref. Ruiz, France, online editors.